Mouse 1 and 2 recounts the story of Art's father's experiences during the Holocaust. In the books, the Jews are portrayed as mice, while the Nazis are portrayed as cats. Mouse 1 tells the story of Vladek Spiegelman, a Polish Jew who survived the Holocaust. The book is divided into two timelines: the present day, where Art Spiegelman is interviewing his father about his experiences in the Holocaust, and the past, where Vladek tells the story of his life leading up to and during the Holocaust. Mouse 2 continues the story of Vladek, focusing on his time in Auschwitz and his eventual liberation. The book also explores Art's strained relationship with his father and the impact the Holocaust had on future generations. Overall, Mouse 1 and 2 are powerful and moving depictions of the Holocaust and its impact on individuals and families. The book explores the themes of survival, loss, and the relationship between parent and child, while also highlighting the importance of remembering and learning from history. As we can see throughout the book, the Holocaust had a profound impact on both Anya and Vladek, and the trauma they experienced during this time continued to affect them long after the war was over. For Anya, the events of the Holocaust were especially difficult to process and cope with. As a Polish Jew, she was forced to endure years of persecution, imprisonment, and loss, including the death of many of her family members and friends. This trauma left her struggling with depression and anxiety, and she was never able to fully recover from the emotional toll it took on her. Vladek, too, was deeply affected by the Holocaust, although his response to the trauma was somewhat different from Anya's. As a survivor of Auschwitz and other concentration camps, he was forced to endure unimaginable suffering and loss, including the deaths of his first wife and many of his friends and family members. Despite these hardships, however, Vladek was able to persevere and survive, using his resourcefulness and determination to stay alive in the face of overwhelming odds. Despite their different responses to the trauma of the Holocaust, both Anya and Vladek were deeply impacted by their experience, and their lives were forever changed as a result, as it did with so many other survivors of the war. For Anya, the trauma led to a lifelong struggle with depression and anxiety, which ultimately contributed to her suicide. For Vladek, the trauma left him with a sense of survivor's guilt and a lasting sense of loss and grief for all that he had endured. One of the most significant effects of the Holocaust on Vladek was the trauma that he experienced as a result of his time in the concentration camps. He witnessed terrible atrocities, including the deaths of many of his friends and family members, and he was subjected to brutal treatment by the Nazis. This trauma left a lasting impression on Vladek, and he struggled with the psychological and emotional aftermath of his experiences for the rest of his life. Another effect of the Holocaust on Vladek was his deep-seated distrust of others. He had learned during the war that people could not always be trusted, and this belief stayed with him even after the war was over. He was often suspicious of others, and he had difficulty forming meaningful relationships with people as a result. As we can see with his relationship with Mala and him, they struggled. Vladek's experiences during the war left him with deep emotional scars, and he struggled to connect with art and to express his emotions in a healthy way. As a result, Art and Vladek's relationship was often strained, with both men struggling to understand each other. Another way that the Holocaust affected Vladek's and his son's relationship was through the cultural differences between them. Art was born in the US and grew up in a very different cultural context than his father, who was born and raised in Poland. This cultural divide made it difficult for Art and Vladek to connect with each other, and it also created...
But as a comics artist, one has to really know what street, for example.
Je crois que dans Mouse, Art, qui a vraiment un talent pour la concision, représente une scène où il me met en jeu et où on est dans la voiture, où il exprime ses doutes sur comment est-ce qu'il peut représenter une réalité qu'il n'a même pas vécue et qui est en deçà de toute compréhension par qui que ce soit. Et il me donne une phrase qui dit « Keep it honest, honey ».
Since then, one of my greatest accomplishments has been not letting Maus become a movie and finding a way to not make Maus 3. And certainly not becoming thoroughly connected to commenting and becoming an authority, passing moral judgment on every other work and activity relating to Auschwitz.
Vladek and Anya's experiences of the Holocaust also had a profound impact on their son, Art, which influenced many aspects of his life and work. For one thing, Art's childhood was shaped by his parents' experiences during the Holocaust. As shown in the interview, Art struggled with his feelings of guilt and responsibility as he felt that he could never fully understand what his parents had gone through or repay them for their sacrifices. These experiences and emotions are reflected in Maus 1 and 2, which Art wrote as a way of exploring his family's history and coming to terms with the trauma of the Holocaust. By depicting his father's experiences in the concentration camps and his mother's struggles with depression, Art was able to process his own feelings and to better understand the impact of the Holocaust on his family. Overall, the Holocaust had a profound impact on Art and Vladek's relationship, with both men struggling to connect with each other in the aftermath of the war. However, through their shared experiences and their work on Maus, they were able to find moments of connection and understanding that helped to strengthen their bond. By sharing his family story in Maus, he has helped shed light on the experiences of those who survived the Holocaust and to honor the memory of those who did not, as well as explore the impact of the Holocaust on future generations.
That's all, folks.